welcome to the NBA Draft Room 2319. I am your host, Rashad Phillips, and I have an electrifying player to bring you guys today. And you know I got prospects for you. Let's go! I'm going to take you on a roller coaster ride with me today. The prospect I have for you is Oklahoma's freshman point guard, Trae Young. When you think about Trae, you think of excitement, amazement, daring, record-breaking. Today, I'll navigate you through the highs and lows of the most electrifying point guard in college basketball. Strap in. Enjoy the ride. In order to be a great point guard in today's game, you must possess these three vital intangibles. Vision, the ability to see defenses and make plays with your eyes. Command, the ability to shape chemistry and lead your teammates. And IQ, the innate sense to read, react, create opportunities for your teammates, see mismatches and opportunities, and make guys around you better. See, the first time I saw Oklahoma's Trae Young, my first initial scouting report was that he reminded me a lot of Mike Bibby out of Arizona. Had a great career with the Vancouver Grizzlies and moved on to the Sacramento Kings. What Mike Bibby possessed at that time, and as he went on to be a pro, was the innate sense of ability to read the game. He was a crafty ball handler. He was a knockdown shooter, and he had a great feel for the game. And I believe Trae Young possesses that same type of feel. So I'm going to take you deeper into the files and let you see why Trae Young had that first impression on me. Let's go. Here against Alabama in transition, Trae shows you all three traits I just named: vision, command, and IQ. As he's pushing this ball in transition, the first thing I notice is his head is up, so that means he's scanning the area using his unique vision. Here's when his command takes place during the ball screen. Trae will draw all 5 defenders to watch him, and once he processes that, he has everyone's attention, his IQ takes over, and he delivers a pinpoint pass. Here's a little bit of a horn set action. Trae again shows his vision, command, and IQ. Trae uses the ball screen going right to make the whole defense shift. Once he does that, he has all 5 defenders staring at him, and he makes a 30-foot zip line pass to a teammate in the corner for 3. Trae's ability to shift defenses, locate his target, and deliver pinpoint passes is what's so attractive to NBA teams. What makes Trae Young so lethal with the ball in his hands is, I like to call it, the triple A effect. He attracts, he agitates, and he assists. In these next few clips, I'm going to show you how Trae taps into that triple A effect. See, I believe Trae Young's ceiling is that of Chris Paul. He has 4 reasons why I believe that. His ability to make guys better, he creates his own shot, he's ball dominant, and he does a lot of damage with that ball in his hands, and the high volume assists. These next clips are Chris Paul-like, and it'll show you my term, triple A effect. Cue the film. Trae is bringing the ball up in transition against Iowa State. He refuses the screen, and here's where he taps into that triple A effect. He attracts 2 defenders chasing him while the other 3 defenders have eyes on him too. As he's dribbling under the rim, which agitates the defense, now they're all out of sync, leaving a teammate wide open for an assist. Trae's ability to probe and dart in the lane and find teammates is the very reason why I believe he has high level IQ and tremendous instincts that will be beneficial for any NBA team. As Trae terrorized college basketball this season with his offensive arsenal, it became evident that he was on a historic pace. With his deep threes and gaudy statistics, the world started to crown him Steph Curry, which I didn't believe in. I thought it was a bit premature. Over time, we started to see Trae get away from himself and started to try to live up to those Steph Curry comparisons. See, what I tell people all the time, I think that comparison is the thief of joy. As Trae tried to write his own story, the media tried to write a story for him. After that Oklahoma State game where Trae took 39 attempts, I knew that the Big 12 conference would start to triple and double team him and make life a little bit complicated for Trae Young. I'm going to take you to the film and show you how he was defended, face guarded, double, triple teams, and that led to a little bit of his fatigue and some forced turnovers. Let me show you. Here against Iowa State, Trae's bringing the ball up full court. Then once he gives it up, he's being completely face guarded. Then the defender forces Trae to catch the ball 45 feet away from the basket. Trae tries to dance him away on the ball screen, but the big switches out on him and passes him off to another defender. Then they double team him on the baseline drive, which tires Trae out, and he throws a fatigue pass, which leads to a turnover. Against Kansas State, Trae uses the ball screen again, and K-State sends the blitz. The first mistake Trae made was he didn't pre-read this coverage while bringing that ball up the court. Secondly, you should never pick up the ball on the screen trap because that's a recipe for disaster. On a night-to-night basis, facing that type of defensive pressure is extremely exhausting, especially for a point guard and a 19-year-old freshman at that, playing in the toughest conference in the country, which was the Big 12. You're facing everybody's top defender. You're taking everybody's best shot. You're number one on the scouting report every night. Trae did not get enough credit for his resiliency of looking at in the face and competing night in and night out. What I've heard from a lot of my NBA sources and just the overall general public is Trae's inability to defend the point guard position, which he'll have to do at the next level. But when I turn on the tape, I don't see an inability to defend his own position. But what I see is a kid that's conserving his energy on the defensive end and trying to use it all on the offensive end to thrill the crowd and hit those deep threes and keep us on our feet and cheering. But at the NBA level, you're going to have to be able to manage both of those. So I'm going to show you a few clips of Trae taking some plays off on the defensive end. And if he correct those, and I believe he will, then he'll be a two-way player and he'll be a superstar at the NBA level. Let's look here against Texas. Trae never gets in the stands or is in position to stop the initial dribble drive first. Once Coleman receives the ball and uses the ball screen, Trae goes under and has a clear path to beat Coleman to the spot and force him to spin back middle for help defense. But Trae lags on the play and gives up a bucket. Next clip against Texas Tech's guard Keenan Evans. Trae is completely flat-footed here with the scorer coming downhill at you. As a scorer, when you see a flat-footed defender, our eyes start to light up. Evan takes full advantage of Trae's unwillingness to engage and scores on him. On this clip against Kansas, Devontae Graham, Trae doesn't engage into Graham and just allows Devontae to go where he wants with the ball. And they get a guard-to-guard screen with a three-point basket. That's really bad defense and poor communication. What's staggering about this clip is Trae never even touches Devontae the whole possession. If this is two-hand touch football, Devontae goes untouched and scores a touchdown. Watch again how Trae never makes contact. At the NBA level, you're going to have to engage and be physical here. In order for Trae to be a better defender, he must first lock in mentally. And secondly, he must be more physical and more anticipative. See, when you're a small guard, you cannot allow the offense to engage you. You're going to have to engage them, especially when you get to the next level. The Russell Westbrooks, the Steph Currys, the Kyle Lowrys, the Kyrie Irvings, the Chris Pauls. I can go on for days. The Kemba Walkers. You're going to have to bring the fight to them because they're going to test you early and often. Overall, what I see in Trae Young is a new generational type of point guard, a player that's built on skill, less athletics, and relies on his instincts. Trae's rare skill set of long-range shooting, pinpoint passes, and vision defy eyes of the so-called prototypical NBA guard. Trae can score in bunches, lead teams, and shape chemistry. Despite his defensive flaws, I believe under the proper guidance and reps in training camp, I know those concerns will all shape out. Trae is an intriguing prospect with the ceiling of Chris Paul or could become just a great backup. But to me, he's worth a top 5 pick. I'm going to throw your comparisons back at you. Don't pass on Trae Young like the teams in 2009 passed on Steph Curry. I'm Rashad Phillips. This is the NBA Draft Room 2319.